An alien fleet was stranded. Then the humans arrived, not to fight but to save. The ships were battered, their metal hulls scarred by a failed jump through a collapsing wormhole. Some of the vessels were cracked, leaking air into the empty void. The alien crew worked frantically, trying to repair systems that were failing. Life support was dwindling. Power cores were unstable. The mood on the fleet was heavy with fear. Commander Varric stood on the bridge of the largest ship, a tall, narrow vessel with jagged fins and a faint blue glow from its engines. He watched the status panels flicker red, showing damage reports from almost every ship in the fleet. The aliens were experts in war and survival, but this time, everything had gone wrong. Their jump had been miscalculated, and now they were stranded near a dead star that barely gave off heat or light. Varric clenched his claws around the railing. "We have to find shelter. We cannot survive long like this," he muttered. His voice was deep and carried a rough edge. The bridge was tense. Alien officers moved silently, their long fingers tapping consoles. Even their communications were quiet. No one wanted to speak unnecessarily and waste the little energy they had. Sensors beeped suddenly, an unusual ping that made Varric freeze. The display showed approaching ships, human ships. The fleet froze in shock. Humans were known across the galaxy for surviving impossible wars, for fighting with ingenuity and strength that no other species could match. Most aliens respected humans, and some even feared them. "They're coming," said an officer named Kyra, her voice trembling. They are warships." Varric shook his head. "Prepare the defenses. This is what humans do. They see weakness, they strike. They will finish what we cannot." He activated the main cannons and raised shields. The fleet was in no condition for battle, but the human ships were drawing closer, and Varric did not want to risk surprise. Inside one of the human ships, Captain Ethan Cole studied his displays calmly. His ship, the Horizon Dawn, was intact and fully operational. His sensors had detected the alien fleet drifting, but there were no signs of aggression. The fleet was damaged and struggling to maintain stability. Ethan frowned. "They are stranded," he said quietly. "They are not preparing to fight. They are trying to survive." Lieutenant Claire Moore, seated beside him, looked up. "You mean they are scared, Captain?" Ethan shook his head slowly. "Scared or not, their ships are failing. Life support engines, power, everything is unstable. We can't just wait. We need to help them." The human fleet slowed, keeping a safe distance from the alien vessels. Ethan ordered communications open. A simple, calm transmission broadcast across space. The message was short, in multiple languages and basic symbols to ensure comprehension. "Help is offered. You do not need to fight. We do not come to harm." Back on the alien bridge, Varric saw the transmission appear. His claws hovered over the control panel. He studied the symbols, trying to read the message. Kyra pointed at the display. "They are saying help," she asked, confused. "Impossible," Varric said, voice low. "Humans do not help. They conquer, they kill, they take. No species survives a human encounter unscathed. They are lying. Prepare for combat." Yet the human ships did not move aggressively. They held position at a safe distance, their engines glowing calmly. Ethan Cole appeared on the display for the aliens, a human face framed by the ship's command console, speaking with calm authority. His eyes were steady, his posture relaxed. He gestured in a way that seemed strange to the alien senses, but his intent was clear. He was not attacking. Varric gritted his teeth. He had led fleets through countless battles. He had faced species that relied on fear, on brute force, on deception. Humans were unpredictable, yes, but never had he seen them pause, wait, and offer aid in the middle of a war zone. His instincts screamed danger, yet something in the calmness of the human captain disturbed him. Inside the Horizon Dawn, Ethan gave orders quietly. Engineer Lucas Gray prepared rescue shuttles. Medics like Nora Benson checked medical supplies and portable life support units. Ethan did not want to force the aliens' acceptance. He knew they were wary, proud, and suspicious. He only wanted to show that help was possible. Kyra leaned toward Varric. "Should we respond?" she asked. "They are not attacking, maybe they are truly offering aid." Varric shook his head. "We cannot trust them. Human kindness is never free. Prepare shields and weapon batteries. Stay alert." The alien crew worked silently, checking hull integrity and rerouting power. Some officers whispered among themselves, questioning Varric's judgment. Even alien society had legends of humans who saved others, but they were rare and often considered anomalies. The idea that humans might offer help freely seemed almost like a myth. Hours passed. The human fleet maintained distance, sending small transmissions and energy signals to stabilize the alien power cores. They shared diagrams of repairs, instructions to reduce reactor overload, and even energy pulses that could temporarily sustain life support. Ethan's team worked carefully. They did not rush, they did not demand compliance, and they did not threaten. Varric watched the strange behavior with a mixture of anger and disbelief. They wait, they do nothing to force us." "Why?" he muttered. Kyra answered quietly. "Maybe they are not like the humans we fear. Maybe they are different." Varric's claws tightened. He did not like uncertainty. He did not like feeling vulnerable. Yet he could not deny the facts. His fleet was stranded, failing, and powerless. The humans had all the advantage, yet they chose patience over attack. On one of the smaller alien ships, a young officer named Selin watched the signals from the human ships. She had been taught to fear humans, to see them only as killers. Yet she felt something unfamiliar, hope. She whispered to her companion, maybe they are helping us." The companion, an older alien named Zoran, shook his head. "Do not trust hope. Trust only survival. If we accept help from humans, what will we owe them?" Back on the human ship, Ethan monitored the alien reactions closely. He understood alien pride and suspicion. He sent another calm message. "We only wish to save lives. We ask nothing in return. We will wait for your choice." Varric frowned. He studied the calm human fleet, their unthreatening movements, their willingness to wait. Slowly, he realized that this was unlike anything he had faced before. Humans had strength, yes, but this strength was not always in weapons. It was in patience, in choice, in control. The alien crew continued repairs with mixed feelings. Some were curious, some suspicious, some outright fearful. The young officer Selin moved cautiously, following human instructions for the first time. Slowly, the alien fleet began to stabilize, enough to prevent immediate collapse. Varric stood on the bridge, staring into the empty darkness beyond the fleet. He felt something he had not felt in a long time: uncertainty. The humans were not attacking. They were not threatening. And yet the alien fleet, stranded and failing, needed them. The dead star cast pale light across the battered hulls. The silence of space pressed in, but this time it was broken not by weapons or war cries, but by small beeps of life support stabilizing. For the first time in many hours, the alien fleet breathed a little easier. Ethan Cole watched from the horizon dawn, knowing the next steps would be delicate. One wrong move could trigger fear, panic, or even accidental combat, yet he was determined. He would show that humanity could survive not only because of strength, but because of mercy and courage. And so, in the silent expanse near a dying star, two fleets faced each other, one proud and broken, one cautious but willing to risk everything to save lives. The first step toward trust had begun. Part 2. Fear meets patience. The alien fleet drifted silently, still wary of the humans hovering nearby. Some officers whispered among themselves, debating whether the humans' intentions were real or a trick. Commander Varric remained tense on the bridge of the lead ship. He refused to lower shields or give full access to life support and navigation systems. Every instinct in his body screamed that humans could not be trusted, yet the humans did not advance. They sent calm messages, explaining simple ways to stabilize failing reactors and life support systems. The transmissions included diagrams and animations that even the aliens could understand. The humans did not demand answers. They did not threaten. They only offered knowledge and help. Kyra, the alien officer, was fascinated. She had spent centuries studying other species' tactics, yet she had never seen patience like this. "Commander," she said softly, "they are not attacking. They are waiting. Why?" Varric shook his head, frowning. "Because they want something. Humans do not do anything without gain. They are testing us, watching our weaknesses. We cannot trust them." On the human side, Captain Ethan Cole and Lieutenant Claire Moore monitored the alien fleet closely. Ethan understood alien pride and suspicion. He knew any sudden move could trigger panic or aggression. "We must show them our intentions," he said. "We cannot force them to accept help, but we can prove we are not here to fight." Claire nodded. "Should we try sending medical data first? Maybe that will show we mean no harm." Ethan agreed. He authorized the transmission. Human medics had compiled simple instructions and demonstrations for alien injuries, including life support stabilization and emergency treatment. The holographic diagrams glowed in the void of space, showing how to prevent starvation, hypoxia, and power collapse. On one of the smaller alien ships, the crew watched the human diagrams carefully. A young officer named Selin leaned closer to the display, trying to understand. She whispered to her companion, "They are showing us how to survive without asking anything. Why would they do this?" Her companion, an older alien named Zoran, shook his head. "Humans do not work like us. They have strange priorities. Maybe this is a test." Varric observed them silently. He noticed Selin and Zoran following instructions. Some of the crew cautiously repaired damaged systems using human guidance. For the first time, he saw progress. Energy levels rose slightly. Life support stabilized in some ships. Small victories, but victories nonetheless. Hours passed, and the humans continued their patient assistance. Engineer Lucas Gray prepared rescue shuttles equipped with portable energy packs and repair tools. Each shuttle was small and lightly armored, meant only to carry supplies and technicians. Medics like Nora Benson checked their kits repeatedly, making sure everything was ready to save alien lives if needed. Finally, a damaged alien ship's reactor began to overload. Varric's claws gripped the railing. "If it goes critical, we will lose the entire crew," he muttered. Panic rippled across the bridge. Kyra tried to calm the junior officers. "Follow human instructions," she urged. "There may be no other way." Ethan Cole noticed the reactor instability on his monitors. He turned to Lucas Gray. "Prepare a shuttle immediately. We will stabilize it before it explodes. Go slow but precise. Lives depend on it." The rescue shuttle launched. It glowed faintly in the darkness of space as it approached the alien ship. Inside, Lucas and two other engineers held their tools tightly, their faces calm but focused. The aliens watched with a mixture of fear and disbelief. These humans were willing to risk everything for strangers. As the shuttle attached to the alien ship, power surged dangerously. Sparks flew along the hull and life support alarms blared. Lucas and his team worked quickly, rerouting power and stabilizing the reactor. One of the alien crew members shouted in alarm when a panel exploded, but the human engineers stayed steady, following their procedure. Slowly, the alarm stopped. The ship's power stabilized. The alien crew exhaled in relief. Varric's claws unclenched slightly, though his expression remained guarded. They saved us," he whispered. The realization settled in. Humans could be dangerous in battle, yes, but they could also be fearless when helping others. Selin, watching from a nearby console, turned to Zoran. I think they are not like the stories we were told," she said quietly. "They risk themselves for us for no gain." Zoran's eyes narrowed, studying the human shuttle. "It is remarkable, frightening even. But we cannot fully trust it. Humans are unpredictable." On the horizon dawn, Ethan monitored every movement. He knew the alien fleet was still suspicious, but he also saw the small signs of trust forming. Humans could not force acceptance, only show consistency. He allowed himself a brief moment of hope. "We are making progress," he said to Claire. "They are learning that we are not here to fight." Hours turned into a day, and the humans continued their patient work. They shared energy, water, and repair instructions. They even offered parts from their own ships to replace broken systems in alien vessels. Some alien officers began to follow the instructions without argument. They still feared humans, but they could not deny the help was real. Varric paced on the bridge, conflicted. Pride told him to reject help. Survival told him to accept it. He studied the calm human fleet and realized a difficult truth. Humans did not need to attack to be strong. Their strength came from choice, from patience, from the courage to act when others would hesitate. That night in the quiet darkness of space, Selen and Zoran walked the corridors of their ship. The faint glow of repaired consoles illuminated their faces. Selen whispered, "I think, maybe humans are stronger than we realized." Zoran nodded slowly. Strength is not only in weapons or power. Sometimes it is in patience, in courage, in mercy. Back on the human ship, Ethan convened with his medics and engineers. "We need to continue showing them we are safe. One mistake and they could panic or lash out. Our goal is trust, not control." Lucas Gray adjusted his tools. "It is strange. We are helping beings who might have considered us enemies, yet they are slowly cooperating." Nora Benson added, "Sometimes, help is the most powerful message we can send. They will remember this." As the day ended, the alien fleet began to stabilize further. Life support levels rose, power grids balanced, and the threat of immediate disaster lessened. Some aliens started speaking cautiously to each other about the humans, wondering if stories about humans being merciless killers were exaggerated. Varric stood at the bridge, staring at the stars beyond the fleet. He still did not trust humans fully, but he could not deny the truth. They were patient, brave, and willing to risk themselves to save strangers. The lesson was clear, even if it made him uneasy. Humans were dangerous in a way that did not involve weapons. They were dangerous because they chose to act when others would not. As the night stretched on, Ethan's fleet remained nearby, calm and vigilant. They had not forced the aliens to accept help, and they had not fired a single shot. Yet their presence alone began to change the alien perspective. What had started as fear slowly transformed into cautious curiosity. Selen, unable to sleep in the hum of the repaired systems, walked to the viewing port and looked at the human ships. She whispered, maybe humans are not just fighters. Maybe they are something more." Zoran stood beside her, silent, watching the calm movements of the horizon dawn. "If this is true," he said quietly, "then the galaxy has underestimated them for too long." The silent fleet floated near the dead star, no longer on the brink of collapse. The humans had shown patience, courage, and mercy. Slowly, the alien crew began to see a different kind of strength, one that did not rely on fear, domination, or brute force. A strength born from choice, responsibility, and willingness to help. And in the darkness of space, a fragile bridge of trust began to form between two very different species, a bridge built not by battle, but by courage, patience, and the simple act of choosing to help. Part 3. Humans step into danger. The alien fleet was slowly stabilizing, yet danger still lurked in the shadows of space. Some ships had barely enough power to maintain life support, and their engines were fragile. Commander Varric paced the bridge of the lead vessel, constantly checking readings and assessing the damage. He was still wary of the humans, despite the aid they had provided. "Our shields are barely holding," Kyra said, her voice tight with concern. "If one more reactor fails, we could lose a ship." Varric gritted his teeth. "We have survived worse. We will survive this, but we cannot rely solely on humans. They may help, but they are not gods. Across the void, Captain Ethan Cole monitored the fleet carefully. He understood the delicate balance of trust and danger. One wrong move could trigger panic or mistrust, and that could undo all progress. He turned to Lieutenant Claire Moore. "We need to do more than wait. Some ships are critical. We have to move in carefully to stabilize them." Claire nodded. "Our rescue shuttles are ready. The medics and engineers are prepared. If we act carefully, we can save lives without provoking fear." Engineer Lucas Gray checked the shuttles one last time. "These ships are small and nimble. We can reach the damaged vessels without triggering alarms, but if something goes wrong, it could be dangerous." Nora Benson, the lead medic, adjusted her kit. "We are ready. We have life support units, medical supplies, and repair tools. We will not leave anyone behind." The first shuttle launched quietly from the Horizon Dawn, gliding through the void toward a smaller alien ship with a failing reactor. Inside, Lucas, Nora, and a pilot named Ryan Hartman worked in silence, their faces calm and focused. The alien ship's alarms blared, but the humans were prepared. On the alien ship, Selen and Zoran watched the shuttle approach. "They are really coming inside our ship," Selen whispered. "They could be attacked or destroyed." Zoran's eyes narrowed. "They are fearless. They are risking themselves to save us. No other species would do this without demand or threat." The shuttle docked, and the human team moved quickly. Lucas rerouted the alien ship's energy to stabilize the reactor. Nora treated injured crew members, monitoring oxygen levels and administering emergency care. The alien crew watched in disbelief as the humans worked calmly, without weapons in hand, without hesitation. Suddenly, a surge of energy caused sparks to fly along the hull. One of the human engineers was knocked to the floor by the blast, but his companions quickly pulled him back and continued repairs. The reactor was moments away from critical failure, yet the humans remained composed. Varric watched through long-range sensors, unable to believe what he was seeing. They do not panic, they risk themselves. They save lives." He muttered under his breath. Pride and fear battled inside him. He still could not fully trust them, yet he could not deny the truth. Humans were dangerous in a way he had never imagined. After tense minutes, Lucas and his team stabilized the reactor. Alarms stopped. Life support normalized. The alien crew exhaled in relief. Selen stepped forward, voice shaking. You saved us. You could have died for us." Nora smiled gently. "We are here to help. We will not leave anyone behind." The aliens were silent for a moment, absorbing the simple truth. Humans did not act out of fear, greed, or conquest. They acted because they chose to. They acted because it was right. Across the fleet, more human shuttles launched, moving from ship to ship, stabilizing reactors, repairing hull breaches, and treating injured crew. One shuttle faced a critical moment when a damaged alien ship began to break apart. The human pilot adjusted carefully, keeping the shuttle steady while engineers attached stabilizing tethers. The ship groaned under the strain, metal cracking, yet the humans refused to retreat. Ethan Cole watched every movement. "Stay calm, stay focused," he instructed over the comms. "We can save them, but we must move carefully." Finally, after tense minutes that felt like hours, the alien ship structure held. The shuttle detached and drifted away, carrying the humans safely back to the Horizon Dawn. The alien crew cheered quietly, awe and relief mixing in their voices. Varric finally spoke aloud on the bridge. I have never seen this. Humans risk everything for others. They do not attack, they save lives." Kyra nodded slowly. "Maybe they are stronger than we thought, not just in battle, but in courage." As the humans continued their rescue work, a storm of radiation from the dead star swept across the fleet. Alien shields flickered, warning lights blared, and systems struggled to stay online. Ethan's team moved quickly, adjusting shield frequencies and diverting energy to critical systems. The human crew's calm focus contrasted sharply with the chaos around them. Selin observed tears in her eyes. They are fearless. Even in danger, they do not hesitate to save us. Zoran remained silent, awed by the human's courage. Strength is not only in weapons, he muttered. It is in choice and in mercy. Hours passed. One by one, the alien ships were stabilized. Humans risked themselves repeatedly, entering damaged vessels, repairing systems, and treating injured crews. Some shuttles were nearly destroyed by hull failures, but the human crews never gave up. They moved with precision, coordination, and care. Varric could not deny it any longer. The human's actions had saved his fleet from destruction, yet he still felt unease. Their courage was frightening, unlike anything he had ever seen. Their power was not in firepower or numbers, but in the willingness to act when others would hesitate. Selin approached Varric on the bridge. "Commander, they saved lives. They did not ask for reward. They only chose to help." Varric nodded slowly, still wary. "I do not understand them, but I cannot ignore the truth. Humans are dangerous, not with weapons, but with courage." Ethan watched the alien fleet stabilize, his heart steady. The risk had been high, but the reward was greater. Trust had begun to form. Humans had shown that they could face danger without fear, that they could save strangers even when their own lives were at risk. Kyra spoke to Varric quietly. "Perhaps this is how humans are different. They are not always violent. Sometimes they are fearless in mercy." Varric did not answer immediately. He studied the calm human ships hovering nearby. Slowly, he realized that humans' greatest strength was not in conquest, but in choice. They could fight, yes, but they could also save. They could risk everything for others, even strangers. The alien fleet, still battered and fragile, began to breathe easier. The immediate threat of disaster had passed. The humans had shown that bravery and patience could be stronger than fear and pride. Selin whispered to Zoran as they watched the human shuttles return. I think we have underestimated them. Humans are something more," Zoran nodded. "They are different, stronger than any story said. Their courage is frightening and inspiring." As night fell over the dead star, the alien fleet drifted quietly. Humans remained nearby, calm and vigilant. Their presence no longer threatened the aliens, but comforted them. For the first time, aliens began to see humans not only as fighters, but as protectors. And in the darkness of space, trust grew stronger. Humans had stepped into danger willingly, showing that the greatest strength was not in weapons, but in courage, patience, and the choice to save lives when it mattered most. The galaxy was beginning to learn that humanity's true power was not just survival, but mercy. Part 4. A different kind of strength. The alien fleet had survived its immediate crises, thanks to human courage and skill. Yet the ships were still damaged, and supplies were low. Commander Varric watched his bridge panels with careful attention. He no longer felt the same fear he had in the first hours of the encounter. Instead, he felt an unfamiliar mix of awe and caution. Humans had saved his fleet, but their calm strength unsettled him. Kyra spoke softly, almost to herself, as she observed the alien crews working alongside human engineers. "I never thought I would see humans choose to help without demand, without expectation." Varric nodded slowly. "It is unsettling, yet we are alive because of them. Their courage is unlike anything I have faced." Ethan Cole, aboard the Horizon Dawn, coordinated further assistance. Small shuttles carried spare parts, energy packs, and medical supplies to every damaged ship. Human engineers moved from vessel to vessel, checking hull integrity, stabilizing reactors, and installing temporary power lines. Human medics tended to injured aliens, adjusting life support and providing oxygen units. Nora Benson carefully treated a young alien officer whose lungs had been damaged during a hull breach. She explained each procedure using simple signs and diagrams. The alien officer watched silently, his wide eyes filled with amazement and gratitude. He had expected humans to strike or demand control, yet here they were, risking themselves to save lives. Selin approached Varric, her voice hesitant. "Commander, why do they do this? Why help those who are not their own?" Varric studied her, then answered slowly. "Humans choose their actions. They do not always act from fear, pride, or reward. Sometimes they act because it is right. It is difficult to understand, yet powerful." Across the fleet, Lucas Gray worked on a damaged engine core. Sparks flew as he welded a replacement part into place. Beside him, Ryan Hartman checked the power distribution system. Both humans moved efficiently, speaking quietly to coordinate their actions. Alien engineers watched closely, copying procedures when possible. The slow rhythm of repair and rescue filled the otherwise silent void. Ethan monitored each shuttle's progress. "Remember, no one leaves a ship behind," he instructed. "Even if it seems impossible, we save them all." Varric observed the human fleet and noted a detail he had never seen before. The humans shared resources freely, even if it meant weakening their own ships temporarily. Water, energy, spare parts, nothing was hoarded. Every decision was made to protect and repair, not to gain advantage. Kyra leaned closer to Varric. "I do not understand it, Commander. They could take our supplies, demand allegiance, but they do not. They only give." Varric remained silent for a moment. Then he said, "Perhaps this is how humans are strong. Not with weapons, not with fear, but with choice. They risk themselves for others. That is strength we have never truly seen." On a smaller alien vessel, Selin assisted human engineers in stabilizing a reactor. She followed instructions carefully, her hands moving over controls she had never touched before. I never thought I could work with humans like this," she whispered. One of the human engineers, a quiet man named Lucas, glanced at her and nodded. "We are not enemies. We only want to help. You can trust us." The alien officer stared at him, struggling to comprehend. Trust had always been a fragile concept with humans. Now it seemed possible. As days passed, the human fleet continued its work. Damaged ships were repaired, energy supplies replenished, and alien crews treated for injuries. The Horizon Dawn became a hub of calm efficiency, coordinating repairs and managing resources for the entire alien fleet. Varric called his senior officers to the bridge for a meeting. "We have survived because of humans," he said. "Yet their strength is different from what we imagined. It is not only in their weapons, it is in their courage, patience, and willingness to act. We must consider what this means for us." Kyra nodded. "Perhaps humans are not to be feared in the way we believed. Perhaps they are something more." Elsewhere, Selin moved through the corridors of her ship, assisting wherever she could. Alien crew members watched her carefully, noting the growing calm in the fleet. Hope, long forgotten, was returning. Ethan Cole observed the changes. The humans had entered danger repeatedly, yet no one panicked. No one gave up. They had shown that even when situations were desperate, careful action, courage, and compassion could make a difference. On the lead alien ship, Varric called for a status report. One by one, officers confirmed that all critical systems had been repaired or stabilized. Some ships even had surplus energy now, thanks to human redistribution of resources. The fleet, once stranded and vulnerable, was now ready to move again. Varric turned to Kyra. "I cannot deny it. Humans have changed the outcome. They have risked themselves, saved our lives, and restored our fleet. I do not fully understand it, but I respect it." Kyra looked out at the human fleet hovering nearby. "We have been afraid for so long, Commander, yet they have shown us a different kind of strength, a strength born of courage and choice, not fear and domination." Selin approached them. I think we can trust them now. They are not here to take or destroy, they are here to help." Zoran, standing beside her, nodded. "And that is more powerful than anything we have seen. Stronger than weapons, stronger than tactics. Humans have shown us a new way to survive and a new way to act." Ethan observed the alien crew's growing calm. Small gestures of cooperation, once hesitant, were becoming more natural. Alien engineers now followed human instructions without fear. Alien medics accepted human advice. Even Varric, proud and cautious, could not hide his growing respect. The day ended quietly. The dead star cast a pale glow over the fleet, illuminating repaired hulls and stabilized ships. Human shuttles returned to the Horizon Dawn, carrying supplies and completing repairs. The alien crew worked alongside them willingly now, a silent acknowledgement of shared purpose and trust. Varric stood on the bridge, watching the calm human ships. He felt a strange mixture of relief, awe, and unease. Humans are unlike anything we imagined. Their strength comes not from destruction but from courage and mercy. They risk themselves to save others. That is extraordinary. Kyra whispered, I think we have underestimated humanity. Their true power is in their choice to act rightly, even when it is dangerous. Selin watched human medics tending to alien crews. She felt a warmth she had not felt in years, hope. They care for us. Not because we are allies, not because we owe them, but because it is the right thing. Zoran stood beside her, silent. This is how humans are different. This is what makes them strong. They act when others would not. They save when others would ignore. They risk when others hide. That is strength of a kind the galaxy rarely sees. Ethan Cole, aboard the Horizon Dawn, looked out at the calm alien fleet. He felt the quiet satisfaction of a mission progressing as intended. Humans had entered danger repeatedly, yet they had never faltered. They had proven that courage, patience, and mercy could be more powerful than any weapon. As the night deepened, the alien fleet, once stranded and broken, floated steadily near the dead star. The humans remained vigilant, ready to assist, ready to act if danger arose again. Yet now the aliens no longer feared them. Instead, they began to respect, to understand, and slowly to trust. Varric turned to Kyra one final time. We have survived because of humans. Perhaps they are the strongest species we have ever encountered, not because of weapons, but because of choice, courage, and the willingness to act for others. Kyra nodded slowly. Yes, their strength is different. It is a strength of the mind, heart, and spirit. It is something we can learn from. Selin and Zoran stood together, watching the stars beyond the fleet. The galaxy will know them differently now, Selin whispered. Humans are not just fighters, they are protectors, they are hope. And in the silent expanse near the dead star, a fragile alliance had been formed. Not by force, not by fear, but by courage, mercy, and the simple act of choosing to help. Humanity's power had been shown in its truest form, leaving a lasting impression on the alien fleet that would echo across the stars for years to come. Part 5. A message spreads across the galaxy. The alien fleet, once battered and stranded, now floated steadily through space. Their ships, repaired and stabilized by human hands, glowed softly under the pale light of the dead star. Commander Varric surveyed the fleet from the bridge of his flagship, pride and awe mixed in his expression. Humans had risked everything to save them, and the lesson was clear. Strength came not only from weapons or tactics, but from courage, mercy, and the choice to act. Kyra, standing beside him, watched the humans working quietly on the Horizon Dawn. I still cannot fully understand it, she said. They could have conquered us, demanded our allegiance, or taken what they wanted, yet they only helped. Varric nodded slowly. They are, unlike any species we have encountered. Their true strength is in their heart, their courage, and their choice to act rightly. It is frightening and admirable at once. Selin moved through the corridors of her ship, assisting her fellow crew with final checks before departure. She felt a mixture of relief and gratitude. I never thought humans could be like this, she whispered to Zoran. Zoran, standing near the viewing port, nodded. We have underestimated them. The galaxy has underestimated them. Their courage, their mercy, their patience, it is a strength we cannot ignore. Back on the Horizon Dawn, Ethan Cole coordinated the final resupply efforts. Human engineers loaded spare energy cells, repair tools, and medical supplies into the alien ships. Medics ensured that every wounded alien had received treatment, and every crew member had enough oxygen and water for the journey home. Nora Benson checked the last of the life support units. "We are ready to leave," she said quietly. "They are stable, healthy, and prepared. All that remains is for them to go home safely." Ethan nodded. "Good work, everyone. We have shown them that humanity can be trusted. That is the most important thing we can leave behind." As the alien fleet prepared to depart, Varric addressed his officers. "We owe our lives to humans. We will never forget their courage, their patience, and their mercy. We have witnessed a kind of strength we did not believe existed. It is time to return home and to tell the galaxy what we have seen." Kyra smiled faintly. "Yes. The story of humanity must spread. They are more than fighters, they are protectors, they are hope." Selen, standing quietly at a console, added, "We will tell every fleet, every station, every colony. Humans are not just dangerous in battle, they are powerful because they choose to act, to save, and to protect." Zoran nodded. "The galaxy will learn a new truth. Humans are not only survivors, they are guardians." Ethan watched as the alien ships activated their engines, slowly moving away from the dead star. The fleet, once stranded and broken, now floated with confidence. The aliens had learned something profound about humans. Their greatest weapon was not a missile, not a gun, but their courage, their patience, and their willingness to act for others. Varric called one last message to the humans. "Captain Cole, your actions have changed our understanding of your species. We will carry this knowledge across the galaxy. Humanity's true strength is now known to us, and we will honor it." Ethan responded simply, "We only acted as we must. No one should be left to die if we can prevent it. That is how humanity survives, and how we hope to help others survive." As the alien fleet disappeared into the vastness of space, Selen whispered to Zoran, "They will remember this forever. Humans have shown us a way to act, even when danger is all around. We have learned from them." Zoran's eyes softened. "And the galaxy will learn too. Humans are not just fighters, they are protectors, brave beyond measure, merciful beyond expectation." This story will echo through space for generations. On the Horizon Dawn, Ethan Cole looked at the empty void where the alien fleet had been. A quiet satisfaction filled him. The mission had not been about combat, victory, or glory. It had been about trust, courage, and saving lives. In this, humans had shown their greatest power. Lucas Gray, cleaning his tools, spoke softly to Ethan. "We did more than save ships. We changed their perception of humanity. They will tell their fleets, their colonies, and the galaxy will know we are more than warriors." Claire Moore nodded. "Mercy can be as powerful as any weapon. Sometimes it is stronger." Nora Benson smiled. "We saved lives, and in doing so, we showed a new kind of strength. That is a message the galaxy will never forget." Far away, the alien fleet continued its journey home. Messages were sent across communication channels to nearby systems. "Humans are not only fighters," one message read. "They are protectors. They risk themselves for others. Their courage and mercy are unmatched. We have learned from them." The word spread quickly. Fleets that had once feared humanity began to listen with curiosity, then respect. Colonies that had only known stories of humans as fighters reconsidered their understanding. The reputation of humanity shifted, not from conquest, but from compassion and courage in the face of danger. Selen and Zoran watched the stars from the bridge of their ship, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and hope. "Humans have shown us that courage is more than aggression," Selen said softly. "It is mercy, patience, and the choice to act when others hesitate." Zoran nodded. "And now the galaxy will know. Humanity's true power is not in domination, but in their willingness to risk everything to save others." Ethan Cole gave final orders to the human fleet. We leave now. Our job is done. They are safe. And we have shown the galaxy the strength of choice, courage, and mercy. That is humanity's true legacy. As the humans departed, leaving the alien fleet to continue home, Varric looked back at the retreating ships. "We have been changed," he said quietly. "We have witnessed a species that fights not only to survive but fights with the courage to save, the patience to wait, and the mercy to act rightly. Humanity is extraordinary." Kyra placed a hand on his arm. "And we will carry their lesson. Across fleets, across colonies, across the galaxy, humans are more than warriors, they are protectors. We will not forget." Selin turned to the viewport, watching the stars pass by. "This will be remembered. The galaxy will remember. Humanity has shown a new kind of strength, one that cannot be destroyed, only admired and learned from." Zoran nodded in agreement. "The story of humans saving us will echo for generations. They have proven that courage and mercy together are the greatest power of all." And so, the alien fleet continued its journey home, carrying a new understanding of humanity. Fleets across the galaxy began to hear the story. Humans, brave beyond measure, merciful beyond expectation, had saved a stranded fleet without asking for anything in return. Humanity's reputation shifted. No longer seen only as fighters or survivors, humans became symbols of hope, courage, and mercy. Their greatest weapon was revealed not in battle but in choice, the choice to act rightly, even when danger surrounded them. Ethan Cole, aboard the Horizon Dawn, looked at the stars and smiled quietly. The galaxy had seen the humans at their best, and now the galaxy would remember. And in that silent expanse of space, far from home, one simple truth echoed across systems, fleets, and colonies. Humanity's true power lies in courage, mercy, and the choice to save lives when it matters most.